Well, hey everybody, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. Well, can you feel it? There is just something different in the air when it comes to October here in the great state of Michigan. So much going on if you're a sportsman. And to start off this week's show, we're going to let you know what happened on the first couple of days of the youth deer season that happened just a week or so back. Our good friend Gabe Van Warmer has a couple of really good hunts from the mid-Michigan area. We're going to show you my opening day hunt with my son Charlie from kind of southwestern Michigan. And we're also going to have a wrap-up of the first couple of weeks of the early goose season. We had some kind of hit and miss hunts for sure on that couple of weeks season there, so you won't want to miss that. Lots of good hunting action on this week's show, so you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Meijer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meijer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meijer. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories on the web at g5outdoors.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
This year's youth hunt found my son Reed and I heading north, Gladwin County to be exact. Food plot guru Ed Spinizzola had invited us to come up to the annual youth hunt that he has hosted for many years. 4 young men would be hunting on Ed's property this weekend and wasted no time in getting to know each other. This spring I ran up to Ed's place to see just how he made a name for himself by showing everyday hunters how to attract more deer to their area. Ed bought this property back in the 70s and farmed it for a couple of decades. Later, he decided to start making the open fields and rolling hills into his deer hunting land.
But this one here is a little different. This is a combination bow and firearm. We're going to put in the shed here. We're going to camouflage it so you won't be able to see it. You have to have cover. The deer will not move during daylight unless they have cover. So keep that in your mind. And when they go to your place, you've got cover. Your corn is cover. Or if you have a bow site and you have a real small plot, well, we don't plant corn. We plant sorghum. And you plant it July 10th to August the 1st. You plant a combination of sorghum, soybeans, and sugar beets. And then we're going to put a little brassica and a grain blend too, just to fill in the open spaces.
Ed's planning has paid off big time. His food plots have been proven for many years, and there's many a yellowed photograph hanging on the wall to prove it. We were about to see firsthand what a world-class food plot and property management would do for the hunting. We were not disappointed. Minutes after getting into the blind, there were deer already feeding in the plot. After seeing a handful of deer and a couple small bucks, we headed in to see one of the youth hunters had a great morning.
So we saw a couple deer, and then we saw a doe and its fawn, and then the doe just came back, and it was kind of just moseying on, and I was shaking, but I got it broadside a couple times, and I was just taking my pick, and then I just, still shaking, just pulled up and shot it, and it dropped instantly.
Very cool. So how many deer have you killed before?
This is my first time hunting and my first deer.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Despite the rainy weather, everyone was seeing deer. It didn't take long for us to start having deer show up in front of us. We were just about out of camera light when 3 bucks walked out about 50 yards from us. Reed saw a nicer buck in the group and got ready for the shot. What just happened?
All of a sudden, my dad says, get your gun out, get your gun out. And I said, what is it then? You said that there was a big 8-point in here. He said, no, it's just a decent 8-point. So he said, then squeeze it. Whenever you're on it, tell me. And then I told him, he said, squeeze the trigger slowly, squeeze the trigger slowly. Bam, he's down right over there.
Job. You have to give me 5 on my foot. Because I'm holding the light. Yeah. And I'm holding the camera. Good job. Yes. I'll tell you what. Well, it was last light. I had to switch cameras actually to get that one on tape. And he's down about 20 yards in front of the blind, if that. That was awesome. Good job. Nice shooting. You're shooting a little 44 mag. And man, they hit a perfect shot.
It didn't kick at all.
I know, you don't never feel it when the deer are in front of you, do you?
Yeah. We came out, there was doe after doe after doe, then a 4-point came in, and then more does came in, and then does left, and then we left. And then we came back, and then we got in the blind. Then some does came here, and then the spike showed up, and then he went into the corn, and we were waiting. And then my dad said, "Put your gun out the window," so I did, and this is what I got.
That was definitely one exciting hunt there. Look at that buck. Yeah, nice chocolate colored antlers. I've never shot a buck with that dark of antlers.
You haven't?
No, I haven't. That's pretty cool. These deer are really truly slaves to their stomach, as the Drury brothers say, and I'll tell you what, you provide it and they come. Ed Spinizzola has done all the work on this food plot, and we were able to come up here and up to Gladwin County and have some fun on his property and see these bucks. I think we saw 5 different bucks today and passed up 4 of them, waiting for one that was a little bit bigger. And I would say this might be a 2-year-old buck here. This is your biggest buck in one exciting youth hunt.
Ben Govitz had connected on his very first buck this evening and told me his story.
And he was just standing by himself out by the tree, so me and my dad turned around and we had to get all situated and everything, and I was shaking pretty bad, but once I shot him, he just dropped right where he stood, so I was pretty happy.
You weren't excited, were you?
Just a little bit.
Were you shaking?
Yeah.
Reed and I decided to stick around to hunt with Bruce and Calvin Barlow. Calvin had taken a doe on Ed's place a couple years ago, and last year passed up several bucks without seeing one that he wanted to take. This evening, that would all change.
Right there. Oh, excellent. You're gonna see. Good job, Cal.
You're sorry, boy.
Give me a high five. Awesome. Good job, Cal. Whoa. Look at that. Wow. Here, let me hold your rifle. That's awesome.
It's really, really cool. My first buck. I really didn't think he would pop up and give me another opportunity to shoot, but he did, and I got him.
Ed Spinzola every year allows a small number of youth hunters to come out, take advantage of the hard work that he does every year by putting in food plots. He manages his property here specifically for deer. He has a variety of food, cover. There's a lot of things here that deer find to their liking, and for Ed to be as generous as he is and allow these kids to come out here and take advantage of that, my thanks goes out to Ed.
Bruce couldn't have said it any better. It takes a special person to give up many dollars and hours so that a few young hunters can have the hunt of a lifetime on their personal hunting property. A special thanks to Ed Spinzola for taking the time to do just that for several youth hunters here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Tim, tell me, what do we got going on here tonight?
We're down here on Hutchins Lake in Fenville, and we've got all the youth out here today, and we're going to do some fishing, some cooking, cook some fries and burgers and hot dogs, and go for a pontoon ride and hang out in the excitement for tomorrow morning. Hoping that the rain holds out, and we're going to go shoot some big bucks or does or whatever comes in.
And how many kids are we going to have hunting tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning we're going to have 3. We will have your son Charlie, Troy Spooner's 2 boys, Chase and Gabe, and then by tomorrow night we'll have 1 more, Jake Zimmer coming. Okay. So we'll have 4 of us out there hunting, and hopefully by tomorrow night everybody will have a deer of some sort down, and the celebrations can begin and we can have some fun.
And what do you like about this youth season?
I love everything about it. To be honest, October 1st is our opener. You can have it. I would much rather be here with these kids, getting them into the woods, getting to see these deer. And for the last 2 weeks, I have been every night out on the farms looking for deer, trying to get the best spots. Everything about it. It's the weather, the camaraderie, the friendships that have been made, the areas that we're in. We even have Marvin, the landowner, in all this right now too, and he's having a blast. But I just think it's the best season out there, and I just wish we could talk everybody with a child, or anybody that hunts that knows a child that doesn't have anybody to bring them out there. It's just, it's very rewarding even for the adults.
The youth hunt is a really fun time in the woods. Yes, you can take a kid out during the bow season or the firearm season, but this is just about them. And if you have young kids, you know your schedule is pretty much at the mercy of their schedule quite a bit of the time, which meant leaving deer camp and heading home for Charlie's 5th and 6th grade football game midday. Once done, we headed back to the woods, only to be greeted by several thunderstorms as they rolled through Allegan County. The weather had not been good for deer movement today, so our hope was that right at dark the deer would move. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. After no deer in the morning sit, we started to see some movement in our area. And right at last light, we had some deer working right at us. Now, we were more than happy to take a nice doe on this hunt, so Charlie was moving into position to take the shot. Well, as it turns out, we were not going to have success on this hunt as far as harvesting a deer because it was just not a good, safe, ethical shot to take. This deer was well within range. We were more than happy to put a tag on a doe on this hunt, but there was other deer behind that deer and just was not a good shot to take, and the light was fading fast and we didn't have a big window of opportunity to make our decision, but we made the right decision. We passed on that shot because it was not a good ethical shot to take. And that's one thing that I love about the youth season. It gives us a chance to sit with our youngsters and really mentor them and coach them on what is a good shot to take, what is not a good shot to take. And yes, that can happen in the bow season and in the gun season, but specifically that youth season when the parent is kind of out of the loop as far as hunting and you're there really just to help that child along. I love the youth season because of that. It's a great time to be in the woods with your kid or with someone else's kid. So if you have not taken part in that youth hunt, we would really encourage you next year. If you don't have a child, take someone else's. It is a great way to get kids in the outdoors. And what we're going to do now is shift gears to the goose fields with Jordan Brown.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and for our next segment on this week's show, we take you down to the southern part of the state for a couple of early season goose hunts, where the hunting was pretty tough the first few times out, but eventually we did end up knocking a few birds down on camera.
Well, here we are. It is the third day of the first week of the waterfowl season, the early goose season. We're hunting down near the Fenton area, outside Linden, if you've ever been here. And we're in a cut wheat field. We're hoping for the best. We've got some guys from Operation Injured Soldier here, which really makes it kind of even a more fun day to have them out here. Now we just need the birds to arrive.
We're up here in Genesee County. We're hunting a cut oat field that was cut about 3-4 days ago. There's been average about 100-150 birds in here. We got a west-northwest wind. We're hoping these birds are kind of in a funnel system here where we got set up at, but we're hoping the birds are going to swing us on the downwind side and drop in on us for a good shoot today. So I think it'll be pretty good.
We saw plenty of birds our first few hunts on the eastern side of the state, but for whatever reason, we just couldn't get them to cooperate. So I decided to try and change my luck and head west to Ionia County to meet up with good friend of the show, Keith Stanton, for a morning hunt.
Well, you get into the first week of season, second week of season, it gets a whole lot tougher to pattern these geese, and they tend to be scattered all over. Put a lot of miles on driving around trying to find the hot field, and I hope this morning we've got about a medium field this morning. Hopefully we'll have some good action, but after day 1 and 2, it definitely gets tougher as the journey goes on, that's for sure.
The hunting after the first week of the early season can get pretty tough, but Keith and the crew have a few strategies for staying on birds.
Early in the year, scouting is the key to this whole game. You got to know where they're going if you want to be successful, and then once you find out where they're going, you want to try to set up as close to where they're naturally using the field as possible. in the early season it can get tough. Usually those first day or two you can kind of locate them, pinpoint them, and after that with the hunting pressure and they're getting shot at, you know, they jump around quite a bit. So it gets challenging. We spend a lot of money in gas and put a lot of miles on the vehicles just tracking these birds down.
Take them.
Shooting, boys. I got a twofer.
That was about a perfect size group for, you know, this time of year. It's just enough birds to get some good shooting in on, and not too many as to where you got so many eyes on your spread. But our guy that does the setup here, I can't say enough for him. I mean, those birds were on a string. Their bellies were brushing the beans as they come across the field. I mean, it might get a little bit better than that, but not much. That was a good start to the morning right there.
It was a good start indeed, and I was happy to finally have a few birds down on camera. Today we were using a limited number of decoys, and that strategy seemed to be paying off.
We're running a lot fewer decoys, trying to mix up our spread to, you know, give them something different to look at, something different than they've been seeing over all the other fields they've been flying over. And you know, our decoy guy Josh is just great at keying in on those little subtle differences that make the whole difference in getting them birds to actually set with you. We don't skybust a whole lot of birds. You know, if they're not in our laps, we let them go by, and you know, hopefully they'll land on the next pass, and if not, you know, we don't shoot at them. But that's kind of key in keeping these birds not so jumpy, is, you know, not shooting at every bird you see. We're trying to get them in, we're trying to decoy these birds and get them out in front of us. And Josh he does an excellent job at that. As you've seen today, that second group of birds wanted to land in a different spot in the field, and he knew just what to say to them to get them to come out in front of us, and it added a few more birds to our bag.
Take them.
We've been watching, it started out as 30 and then it jumped to 50. Yesterday it was close to 100 birds in this field. Last night, of course, we had a huge weather change come through. That full moon's been out for a few days now. And just not the same amount of birds showed up today, and the birds that showed up came from a completely different location than they've been coming from. You know, we were able to get in this field, scratch down a few birds. It's a quick hunt it before work type of field, so we're definitely not complaining with the birds that we got. But you know, it just kind of goes to show you that's how unpredictable they can be, and that's why it's hunting. You know, yesterday there was 100 birds in this field, and today I'm going to say less than 25 actually showed up, and we got 7 of those. So anytime you're hunting, it's a success.
Well, sometimes hunting is just plain tough, and for whatever reason, our first few trips didn't pan out, but thankfully we were able to connect on a few birds before the season ended. Special thanks to all of the hunters who had us out during the early goose season, and good luck to all of the waterfowl hunters this fall.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching Michigan Out of Doors this week. Now make sure you are joining us over the next few weeks, because there is a lot of good action coming over the next couple of weeks. Next week's show is going to have some bear hunting. You won't want to miss that. We also had a camera out on a veteran pheasant hunt that just happened. Actually, a couple of those happening here in the state of Michigan. And of course, we are now into the bow season, so we will be having some bow hunting action for you over the next few weeks. Not even to mention all the good fall fishing, the small game season. What a great time of the year to be a sportsman here in the state of Michigan. So make sure you're joining us here in your PBS station. If you don't get a chance to watch us, you can always watch us online at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com. We have full episodes of the show there. You can join the conversation on the Facebook page and kind of see what we're up to on a day-to-day basis as we travel this great state, trying to bring you a brand new episode of Michigan Out of Doors 52 weeks out of the year. Thanks for joining us this week, and hopefully, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, see you right back here next week.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Jay's Sporting Goods, with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's, on the web at jayssportinggoods.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Propane, exceptional energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping. From bug spray and tents to GPS and gas, Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there. Meyer. Closed captioning is brought to you by Propane Exceptional Energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am